Hey, Mark Guskots here from Trigobili Farm, and I've got a little video here on just like two simple materials, some plastic and some foam insulation, and how we can like use that in growing some seedlings. This is a video to complement one of our on-demand classes or a live class that we do called No-Till Gardening, and also one that's called Seed Starting Success. There are definitely two classes that go hand in hand. It's on our website if you wanted to like take a look. But so there's a standalone video that I also made on these plasticulture trays and like the introduction to them and where you can get them and stuff. This is definitely something that goes along with that, and the idea of like growing seedlings inside, herbs, flowers, veggies. You know, all the little seeds that are like really difficult to start out in the garden. You want to start them indoors. So jumping into just the two materials. One is this. And so it's a little bit rigid. This one's cut down. It's typically a couple feet wide, and it comes in a roll, a nice linear roll of like 2 feet by like 25 feet or so. You can find them. You can find it online. You can find it at your local, hardware store or big box store, home improvement store. And so it is a. It's basically bubble wrap covered in mylar, in this like reflective mylar. Think of like combining shipping bubble wrap with a space blanket. So how do I use this in growing? So in the class, you see my indoor growing area, but we don't necessarily dive deep into this. So this, of course, reflecting light, I use this as the walls around the edge. I'm not really using this to insulate the area and keep it warm, although it does have that benefit. And I'm not like fully wrapping this all the way around everything. I'm just keeping this as like the back wall against, where the back wall against where the trays kind of sit. And so as the light would leave and get absorbed by whatever surface is outside or leave the whole system altogether, this reflects the light back inside. And as you see in our class, we talk about light is food for plants. Fertilizer helps them like when they're outside, but in those early stages, light gives them the food that they need through photosynthesis to go from little itty bitty seedlings that just germinated to the big honkin' seedlings and starts that you would take and plant out into your garden. That's the whole purpose of starting seedlings indoors. So this it's just like one of those like magic like little things that can reflect light and thus resulting in more food for your plants on the inside. It also helps to kind of contain moisture in there and everything. Now, I typically would have a fan set up in the area, just kind of blowing and creating a circular little convection current kind of going with the fan and everything to stop water from just like sitting in there too long. Now I'd set that up like in the room, just kind of blowing out around, but not directly in the growing area. The thing is I'm not like completely buttoning this up. This is just a loose wrap around everything. Again, in the class you see the pictures of it. Another thing that is plastic, clear or black, like painter's plastic. What are you looking for? Not 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil. You're looking for 6 mil, the thick stuff, 6 mil plastic. Now, I use this on the bottom, where the trays sit. They sit on top. And I use this to not just to like protect whatever surface is underneath there. This creates like a water barrier layer between that and the heat mats that are underneath. But it can also like heat up as well. Safely with the heat mat, but it stops like it captures like water, excess water from the drips from your trays. Also, this can also be used instead of those like little domes. Watch the other video on the plasticulture trays. You could cut little strips of this and put it right over the whole tray in those early times while you're trying to keep the moisture in the soil level. However, the domes definitely are superior to that because they do also allow for air circulation and stuff. You can kind of use this, but like you got to be really careful that you don't like create fungal rots and stuff like that would just like destroy your plant. So it could be used for that. The black version of this, black plastic, is nice if you happen to have seedlings that when you look at like the seed packet, and the seed packet says needs darkness. Now you're going to see that on a lot of like flower seeds. Not a lot of flower seeds, but it's most common. You'll see that on like flower seeds. It's as if the seed, in order to germinate, needs to be underneath some like dead plant material before it pops up through it. So you can mimic that with black plastic, and you're like, but it can't go through the plastic. That's right. You keep lifting the plastic up every day, taking a look at to see is anything popping up above the soil, and if it is, boom, you're pulling the plastic off because germination has occurred, and you no longer need that black plastic to create darkness. Okay, So this as like a secret weapon to like keep your whole area clean. You can buy this in rolls. You could spread it out on the ground underneath the whole growing area. Maybe you've got like, your grow lights set up in a closet, or set up in a nice room, or set up on a table or on a windowsill. This plastic, one roll, is going to last you for the whole season. Now, we also use this for creating a big water tub in a trailer or something like that, to turn a trailer into a big sink to soak logs for our like mushroom growing class. You can 6 mil plastic that is also now greenhouse plastic. If you're building a greenhouse, you can use that same plastic and just keep scraps of it. So that's actually what this is. It's the 6 mil plastic that used to be on the greenhouse, and when I replaced the plastic, I saved some strips of it that were nice. Because those plastics are different. If you're looking to make a greenhouse out of this plastic, it's not going to work out very well because painter's plastic isn't treated for UV light, for all that ultraviolet light coming from the sun. It's not like treated to handle that. So my point is that like you can use that 6 mil painter's plastic indoors, no worries, disposable if you needed to, or but if you're building a greenhouse, don't use this plastic. But you'd upgrade. You'd get the commercial grade 6 mil plastic that's like treated, that's meant to be used for building greenhouses or cold frames or anything, and then you'd have some left over. So there you go. 2 awesome materials that go along with like the classes that we teach. Thanks.